What do Fortune 500 CEOs and startup founders like Susan Wojcicki, CEO of YouTube, Mark Pincus, founder of Zynga Games, and Rachel Holt, the United States and Canada General Manager for Uber, have in common? They were all Bain Company consultants early in their careers. Bain works on the toughest problems for the biggest companies around the world, so you learn a lot as a consultant. In this video, I'm going to reveal to you why Bain Company is known as a business bootcamp and what you can do to get a job at Bain Company. We'll cover what makes Bain different, what Bain looks for in a candidate, the Bain interview process, and if you stay until the end, you'll see the 4 tips for passing the Bain interview. Hi, my name is Davis. If you're joining us today and you hit the subscribe button below, every time a new video, a new resource for how to land a job in management consulting is released, you'll be the first to know. Bain is one of the most well-known and often considered a top 3 strategy consulting firm in the world. Collectively, the top 3, McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group, and Bain are also known as MBB. Despite being the youngest and smallest of the big 3 consulting firms, Bain manages to still offer its clients and its team members an unbelievable experience. How exactly do they do that? Relentless focus on results. As a Bain consultant, you are expected to drive clients to action, not just provide a recommendation analysis. Tight and long-term relationships. The unofficial Bain philosophy is, a Bainie never lets another Bainie fail. You will always find help no matter how difficult the situation is. Development opportunities. At the beginning of your career, you're not expected to specialize, but to work in a wide variety of industries and on many different types of business problems. This will help you build your skill sets and make you very strong at solving any problem in any industry. Strong private equity practice. Bain started the private equity practice for management consulting. So if you're someone who wants to get into private equity or exposure to private equity or even a career into private equity after consulting, getting exposure to private equity at Bain is easy and will help you transition into a private equity career if you so choose. As a Bain alum, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that what Bain shares about its culture is not just what it writes on its website, but 100% what you experience as a consultant, as a team member at Bain. Bain says that it's a relationship-driven culture and that a Bainie never lets another Bainie fail. I'm here to tell you that that's 100% true. I can't stress it enough. Some of my best friends to this day and many of the people I talked to worked at Bain during the same time I did or were Bain alums. There's just this instant connection you make when you work at a place like Bain Company. When I thought I made life-changing friends in university, when I got to Bain, I met even more life-changing friends as well as mentors who I still keep up with today. Like other top management consulting firms, Bain wants to hire candidates who are analytical thinkers, who are creative thinkers, who can work in teams, but also at the same time have leadership potential. Candidates who manage to get hired by Bain typically show the following characteristics. Entrepreneurial spirit. You have a go-getter attitude and you're always willing to take the initiative. You don't have to have started a business in college, but showing that you're willing to take the extra mile in your work or in your extracurricular activities will make you stand out. Teamwork skills. Bain wants to see that you've been an active member on a team. This could be at your job or in your community, but they just want to see that you can work well with other people. You want to show examples of when you led a team or worked within a team to achieve something that was difficult. Comfort with ambiguity. In addition to having strong analytical skills, Bain wants to know that you can answer a complex question with limited information. Make sure to keep that in your mind when you practice your case interviews. Results focused. Candidates should be able to infer the so what from any conclusion made. What this means is that in your interviews, if your interviewer shows you a chart or gives you an answer to a piece of analysis, they'll expect you to bring the answer back to why this chart or this piece of analysis helps your client in solving their problems. You should always have an idea of how every single thing you do ties back to helping the client. And by the way, if you're interested in becoming a management consultant at a firm like Bain, check out how my team and I can help you with a free 30-minute strategy session. You can find a link to that in the description below or in the pinned comment below. Let's talk about the Bain interview process. Passing the Bain case interview as well as the personal experience interview is tough. Typically, the Bain hiring process consists of 2 to 3 rounds of interviews so that the firm gets to know you as a candidate. First round interviews, which are 2 back-to-back interviews with consultants and managers. Second rounds, which are 2 to 3 back-to-back interviews with managers and partners. There is sometimes a third round of interviews that's comprised of 1 interview with a partner. The interview process typically consists of a case interview and an experience interview. And in some offices, you'll also have something called a written case interview. The written case interview is mainly used in Europe as well as Asia. So if you're in North America, you don't have to worry as much. And if you do get a written case interview, you can expect it during the final rounds of interviews and not typically the first. All candidates should expect a case interview regardless of the office or the region you're applying to. The Bain case interview is typically quantitatively heavy as well as interviewee-led. Quantitatively heavy means that you need to show that you're comfortable working with numbers. such as being able to do a market sizing analysis or interpreting charts or graphs in a case interview. Interviewee-led means that the candidate, that's you, will need to lead the case interview discussion by proactively asking questions and suggesting the next steps to solve the problem, while the interviewer sits back, provides additional information based on what you ask, and sees how well you lead the discussion. Most importantly, Bain interviewers are looking to see if you have a structured approach for solving problems. The good news is there is a 4-step process for solving any Bain case interview in a structured manner. Understand the problem. Spend a few minutes learning about the situation before taking any further steps. Outline your approach. Build your structured plan that will help you solve the problem. Do the analysis. Ask questions of your interviewers and identify insights based on the information that you receive. This is also where you'll need to crunch some numbers to help your client with their problem. Synthesize a recommendation. Conclude the interview with a synthesis of everything you need to learn about what the client should do and your recommended next step. You can watch our case interview prep series to learn how you can master the case interview for Bain. Since you made it to the end, as promised, I'm going to share with you 4 tips for making sure that you can land that Bain offer. Use your own case structure. Bain and other firms will want to know that you can think on your own and not just memorize something from a book. So avoid memorizing frameworks and put the effort in tailoring your approach to the client at hand. This shows your interviewer that you're a strong problem solver. And don't worry, if you're nervous about doing this, I have a whole series of videos that will help you create your own frameworks and structures for every case interview you encounter. Consider the feedback that you're given to make sure that every time that an interviewer gives you feedback, that you figure out how to incorporate this feedback, because they want to make sure that you meet the bar for every quality they're looking for in a Bain consultant. So you want to be able to listen and also incorporate that into the next step. Practice collaborative problem solving with your peers. Consultants work on teams, so practicing collaboration in your interview prep will help you draw your interviewer into problem solving with you in your interview and make you look like a consultant who's already working with them and not against them. During your interview, use the 80-20 rule. That is, in a case interview, as you would be working on a case, you're not going to be in a situation where you have 100% of the information 100% of the time. Because sometimes you might find that you only have 20% of the information you want, but you might also realize that this 20% represents 80% of what you need to know. So you need to be comfortable using that 20% of information, which does give you 80% of the information, to make an informed decision. Because if you wait too long and you need to get 100%, the opportunity might pass or the client might get impatient. So in consulting, we like to use the 80-20 rule, because sometimes you just have 20% of information available to you, but that 20% could represent 80% of the value that you need in order to make informed recommendation for your client. Now, if you're 100% serious about getting a management consulting offer at a firm like Bain, I want to make sure that my team and I help you. If you go to the link below in the descriptions or in the pinned comment, you'll find a way to book a free 30-minute strategy session with my team, where we're going to walk you through step-by-step how you can get your Bain offer. My team and I at My Consulting Offer have a proven process that's helped over 600 people just like you land their dream consulting offer at firms like Bain. But you don't have to take my word for it. Here's an interview I did with someone who used our methods and worked with our team to land their consulting offer.